from a previous book by a guy named Nikolaitis. this is my example of a chair, which I think I did simply by looking ahead of me. So let's see if we can maybe make another one. And you can start doing this. You can pick either an object that's on your desk, or maybe in front of you, maybe the person in front of you. So now for me, it's really hard not to look at the drawing because I have also the monitor in front of me, and I tend to look at it all the time because I don't want to go off frame. But let me just see. I'll draw this thing. I'll draw this brush, and I'll just put it. Let's see. I'll just put it up here so that I don't see the drawing. And I just kind of. So the idea is you just. Now I still see, like with a peripheral vision, I can still see. Unfortunately, my setup now has too much information because I see the screen in front of me. I should probably do it this way. There, now I don't see it anymore. And then you see it's so easy to go back to the drawing, right? And then you draw, and you probably start laughing in a minute because whatever I'm drawing is not very good, but that's okay. That's the idea, right? Okay, so somewhere here, the number maybe, and you just continue doing it, and that doesn't look like a brush at all. But I think. You could go back to this drawing and fix it if you wanted to, or you can just leave it alone. But you can get, already from a drawing like this, some of the characteristics of the brush that are not, kind of photographic or realistic, but have some sort of like brushness, brushness to them. Here, for example, the shape, of course, this, of course, is too fat. So I'm going to try to do another one. And the idea really is not to see, okay, I'm going to make it better and better and better. Okay, now I'm just going to leave it there. So what I'm doing now is really using contour more as like I'm kind of seeing it, so I'm a little cheating here. But even in a quick drawing like this, you have a hole there. So I'm doing a little bit in between now because I can see it with my peripheral vision. But and then when you look at it, say, okay, it doesn't look exactly like a brush. But it makes for an interesting drawing, and that's something that, granted, in what we do with drafting and sketching, it's a little bit difficult to achieve because most of the time the drawings are very set, right? Very exact, very geometric. But it is still true that even if this was like a good drawing of a brush, this one is no less an abstraction than that. In other words, it looks more realistic, but it's still a very abstract drawing because I'm asking you to make this leap from, the real thing to a bunch of lines, okay? And once you get past the fact that it may not look exactly like it, then you can work on the drawing by itself to make it sort of live by its own devices, live by its own means. And you can be, I don't want to use the word creative because that's a little bit of a loaded word, but just so the idea that drawing is really not about, of course, making things, look like the real object. There's an inner life to a drawing that goes beyond, trying to make it exactly the same. Okay? So go ahead and do this now, and I'll just come around. Let me just quickly look at my hands. Okay, so the hand, let me see how much time I have. We have about 5 more minutes. So we'll do a hand, again, face away and face away from the drawing, turn back and draw your hand. Now I'm just gonna not very comfortable. And I think she's right about taping the paper because as it shifts, it's hard for me to. Okay, that looks like 2 hands. I can try another one. Anyway, let me. These are something that I did last year. Oh yeah, you can do your portrait too, like a self-portrait, imagining how you are, without lifting off the pencil. Okay, and I mean you can see that I emphasize certain things because I know they're there, and it's kind of like I think I'm too tall, but it's kind of fun to do this. You know, putting a lot of hair here. I'd say that's how you can tell you're getting old when you start growing a beard in your ears. Another hand, and another hand, and then I think this one I did at the office after class, where I went back and then I started by looking once in a while. Okay, looking at the hand once in a while, but still with this sort of very quick, you know, kind of not worrying too much. And then that class also drew this, which is the projector overhead, pretending it's an helicopter. But so let me put the list of things again up on the screen. We'll end with that, and then we'll just draw. Okay. So yeah, let's tape it down. Don't look at the drawing. Do not erase. Do not lift pencil. Imagine touching the object. Sing a song. Do not edit, and don't worry about doing some parts first and then the others. Again, which is like the opposite of the way we normally draw, right? If we drew a hand, we would say, oh, okay, I break it down into parts. Here it's kind of saying, no, just draw it. Just like, don't worry about it. Okay? So let's see, we'll do an object. Okay, not looking. We'll do a self-portrait. Without looking, of course, because unless you have a mirror. And then we do the hand. Not looking. And then you probably run out of time, but if you have time, do the hand looking once in a while. Okay, so that's 3, and that's 4. Yeah, I encourage you to read the PDF, which is already in iLearn. It's a nice tackle. Okay, so that's that.